as everybody from Mandela to even Gandhi understood, past a certain point, if it's not working, you've got no choice but to get on with a war.
Sea Shepherd, you are under arrest. Stop your engine.
Bardot doing her part to stop seal hunting.
Overseas today, the residents of Reykjavik in Iceland are still reeling somewhat from an attack last night on their whaling industry.
Dragged out, brought on board the ship, and dragged through a gauntlet of sealers.
The Sailors Association has just blocked the entrance so that we can't get in there.
But how many of us would be willing to put our lives on the line, to die for a whale?
Who is the Sea Shepherd Foundation?
The Americans are part of an international group trying to stop it.
It seems like a futile effort at times to try to change the world.
The crew of this drift net fishing boat has just clashed head-on with the most daring environmentalists in the world.
The Japanese have taken it too far. This is a blatant violation of international conservation law, and if the governments of the world were down here doing their job, we wouldn't be here.
More than 300,000 baby seals have been clubbed for their pelts each year since the turn of the century.
It's a pleasure being part of something that makes the world a better place to live.
Some governments call him a criminal. Some celebrities say he's a hero.
This is a man who has really gone out there and single-handedly protected the whales, and his life is in danger.
Pierce Brosnan is worried about Paul Watson, a man dedicated to stopping this, the wholesale slaughter of the world's whales.
We have to stand up and fight for this planet, for the benefit of future generations and for the benefit of all species.
Well, I've been involved with protecting seals pretty well all my life. I first became actively involved in 1975. We did block the sealing ships in the ice. On one occasion when we did that, the sealing ship Arctic Endeavour kept coming at us and, in fact, broke the ice up underneath of our feet.
Two men stand between an icebreaker and the seals. They have often risked their lives to stop the killing.
We obstructed the sealers with our own bodies and physically protected as many seals as we could.
Supported by high-profile stars like Brigitte Bardot, he forced the Canadian government to ban the hunting of seal pups or whitecoats. Now under a new government initiative, the seal hunt is on again.
In an attempt to stop one of the ships, I had handcuffed myself to a winch line so that the ship wouldn't proceed and would be slowed down and wouldn't be able to get its quota. What happened there was that the sealers decided that they were going to deal with me, and they gave the order to pull the winch line in. I was dragged across the ice, through the water, up the side of the ship, and dropped 3 times back into the water. I spent about 10 minutes in the water altogether, and I was losing all sensation in my hands and feet. It was frozen salt water. It was sort of a slush that I was in, and this was about 180 miles out at sea. Then I was dragged out, brought on board the ship, and dragged through a gauntlet of sealers who were kicking me, spitting at me, and rubbing my face into the blood on the deck.
Man has an infinite capacity to rationalize his own cruelty in lots of fields. But let me tell you, this takes a rationalization beyond and above the bounds of anything. It is simply inhuman.
In 1979, we took the Sea Shepherd on her first expedition through the Cabot Straits and through 200 miles of ice floes to the scene of the seal hunt. Succeeded in reaching over 1,000 seals, applying a dye to their coats, making them commercially valueless, and in fact saved those 1,000 seals in that manner.
With the Sea Shepherd firmly in the grip of pack ice, a federal icebreaker battered its way alongside. Smoke bombs preceded an RCMP boarding party, and despite the vaunted defenses, an electrified barbed wire fence, and a water cannon, the RCMP boarded the vessel and arrested 17 people without incident.
We challenged the unjust, the so-called seal protection regulations in the Canadian courts, and won. Thousands of seals were saved.
Paul Watson was going out there, along with actor Martin Sheen, not to confront the sealers, but to offer them an alternative way of making a living without having to kill the seals. Well, they almost killed Paul, and they terrorized the rest of us, and in the end, we had to flee for our lives.
Then they smashed down the door. I got in, they smashed the other door down, and then I was facing about 50 of them in a very small room, and they
Hesitated, and then one of them came over and punched me in the side of the head, at which point I was able to knock 3 of them down with a stun gun that I had, but the others then just piled in. It was like an avalanche.
Paul had initiated this effort of using the molting fur of the seals as a new industry, and this hair from the seal pups had the same consistency as down.
Having that vessel named after me in the oceans of the world, in this last-ditch attempt by Watson and his cohorts to save life in the sea, is an accolade, an honor that nobody could possibly hope for.
Listen, we're coming back on guard! Live in here! Blow the fuck! Blow the fuck! Blow the fuck!
There were some sailors that were swinging. I got punched in the nose and the lip and in the throat. Jerry got punched in the mouth. He got bloody. Gedden got punched in the mouth. He got bloody. So they're definitely aggressive and they're sneaky about it. They're trying to block the cameras. Unfortunately, we only got 2 cameras back before the Coast Guard cut off the crew. I'd say more than half the crew's on the other side of that boat.
And when you attack people with hack-a-picks, that's a violent crime in my opinion. It seems to me that the police should be interested in that instead of going after people taking photographs. Over.
We're here to protect fishing boats from people like you, sir. You know, I just would like to know who's protecting Mother Nature from people like you and your government. Over. Well, to cut the conversation short, sir, I believe it's you who is trying to do that.
It's always been my lifelong ambition to shut down this seal hunt, ever since I was a boy of 9. And we will be doing this for the next 20 years if need be. Our efforts will protect these species and make sure that they're around on this planet 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, 1,000,000 years from now. Our efforts today can make that difference.
Environmentalists call these 35-mile-long nets curtains of death. That's because they literally sweep the ocean, trapping and killing nearly every living thing in their path. There are international treaties banning these practices, but they're rarely enforced.
In 1986, Sea Shepherd obtained the first filmed evidence of dolphin killing by a U.S. registered ship.
Every October off the coast of Japan, hundreds of thousands of these endangered mammals are being butchered.
He forced Japanese officials to meet with him at the bargaining table, and the slaughter of dolphins on Iki Island ended.
All around us out here is incredible violence, incredible killing. Yet anytime an environmentalist rises up and intervenes, that is construed as violence. So, as for accusations of violence and us being violent, frankly, I couldn't give a damn.
Yeah, okay, this guy over here. All the negotiations in the world haven't stopped them so far in the North Pacific. So Captain Watson had decided negotiation time was over and it was time to go in there and make a very specific statement. Over.
Our first consideration in planning a campaign is, can we physically interfere without causing any injuries or making sure nobody gets killed?
Yeah, we came up on them about 1,000 miles north of Hawaii yesterday, and the captain decided, in his infinite wisdom, to ram 2 of them.
By hitting the Sierra, we struck a blow for the whales by damaging the entire pirate whaling industry, which is now under international investigation.
Well, what we deliberately go out to do is to protect marine mammals. And if that involves confrontation, then so be it.
So we went in August 1981 into Soviet Siberia, landed on the shores, photographed the installation, and found out the real reason they're killing those whales is to provide a cheap meat for their mink ranches that they've set up there.
Sinking ships in harbor is not a new strategy for Watson and his crew. In 1986, they sabotaged and sunk half of Iceland's whaling fleet while it was presumably safe in harbor.
We've made it very clear to them that we have no intention of sitting idly by while they carry on with the slaughter of whales.
Sea Shepherd, this is the coastal vessel Ola Ralje. You are under arrest. You are under arrest. Will you please stop your engines?
Four inflatable rafts?
Yeah, they're being launched and refueled by a gunboat, which is 2 miles behind us. We're faster in the gunboat, so the richest are using inflatables. Each inflatable carries 4 police officers armed with machine guns, tear gas bombs. Over.
It's the first time ever that an unarmed conservation vessel has been fired on. Sea Shepherd's crew retaliated with distress flares and rope lines to try and foul the inflatable's propellers.
You are still under arrest. Will you please stop your engines?
Well, that's getting to be like a broken record, I mean.
The gunboat was now a good 2 miles behind, slipping back, and it looked as if the police had had enough.
In 1994, we had already sunk 2 Norwegian vessels, and we decided to confront the whaling vessels head-on with a large ship.
Order the ship to stop, or we will use all means to stop you.
This is Wales Forever, over. I understand you're going to fire on our ship, over.
That's affirmative. If you do not comply with my orders, we are under attack.
They rammed us, they dropped depth charges under us, they fired upon us, they threatened to sink us.
Okay, they're getting ready to throw another charge. They just did it. Stand by, you'll hear the explosion.
I think I missed this.
Did you hear that? They are trying to sink the ship.
Nishan Maru, this is the Farley Moat. We're no protest ship. Now get out of here.
Oriental Bluebird, or should I say the SS Whale Meat, please remove yourself from these waters. You're in violation of international conservation regulations. We're acting in accordance with the United Nations World Charter for Nature and implementing these regulations. You're in a whale sanctuary and you're assisting in illegal activity. Remove yourself from these waters immediately.
Time to drop the line.
Let's go, you alright? What? It's time to
Taiko Maru, Robert Hunter, please state your intentions, over.
A little more speed. Across the Farley, 1.6. Close. Pitch, what's a pitch out? Face down. Stop engines! No, they hit us. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to hit them. I tried to steer away, but they slammed into us. They pushed us into the ice. I mean, there's no escaping. Check out damage, please. Any people checking the damage?
Are you prepared to die for the cause?
Oh, I've always been prepared to die. I don't think that that's unusual.
Something inside the cards I know is right. Don't wanna live somebody else's life. This is what I wanna be, and this is what I give to you because I get it free. She smiles while I do my time. I could die for you. Oh, this life I choose. I'm here to be your only go-between.
This is a growing movement. It's the most important movement in the world. That is the movement to save life, to save the earth. It means that we have to stand up and say, look, we're going to take matters into our hands as individuals, as caring, compassionate people, and we're going to fight back, because the one thing that is worth fighting for on this planet Earth is life.
Way to share. Come along and go along with me. Wander with me, yo.